Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. And finally, we are back after some pretty long departure, longer than I intended. And we are going to start right up with a new playthrough. So here we are. We are in the year 769. Yet again, my preferred start date, and one of my favorite mods being my own personal mod as we slowly continue to work on the map and fill it more out. We have basically finished Europe, and we'll be concentrating on basically out here when it comes to map building, etc. But for right now, this whole area is done. So we have the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms. We have Francia divided into Upper and Lower Francia. So we have King Karl, which is Charlemagne, and his brother Carloman. We also have the kingdoms of Saxony, Bavaria, Bohemia, Lombardia, Al-Andalus, Asturias, all in their historical locations for the time frame. How you doing, Arcane? Now over here, we have the Eastern Roman Empire, and we are in the middle of what's referred to as the Byzantine Dark Age, or the Iconoclasm. We are looking at the Eastern Roman Empire currently is going through what's referred to as the Great Conspiracy. Right now, she is being invaded by 4 different major empires around her: the Bulgarian Empire, the Serbians, the Avars, and the Khazars are also coming down, along with raids from the Magyar Confederation. The Eastern Roman Empire is in a pretty desperate situation, to say the least. Glad you're feeling better. I've had a severe case of strep throat. Now, us and our character, we are Theodosius II, here in Naples, and we are House Julia, one of the ancient patrician houses of the old Roman Empire. We have been living in our estates and our family, even though it's faded from, I would say, the highest of heights to the lowest of lows, but we are still landed. Sitting here in Naples, it's going to be an interesting thing. We have the Lombards coming down. We are basically left alone to our own devices as the Eastern Roman court, the Imperial court in Constantinople, has basically given up on Italy. And we will not receive any aid from the Imperial court in Constantinople. And if these wars are successful, we will be cut off from the rest of the empire. We may go independent. We might stay and build a power base over here. We'll see how this goes. We know that the Lombards are currently invading Corsica. The Bohemians are coming down here to invade Dalmatia. The Bulgarian Empire is trying to basically come down and conquer slowly all of Greece. So they're currently going into what is historically part of the Macedonians section of the Roman Empire. And Serbia is doing a kingdom war for the kingdom of Epirus. When it comes to our normal titles, we have what the Eastern Roman Empire is supposed to hold completely at this time. Got the Great Hungarian Empire. The name will change based on whoever forms it. We got the Bulgarian Empire, which is going to be a thorn in our side for a good while. We have Francia, which is when the tag is formed, this is the maximum extent of Charlemagne's empire. Then we have the old province of Hispania, and then the basics of the default kingdoms and empires around. The most powerful empire that we'll have to keep an eye on is the Abbasid Caliphate. It has only been roughly 50 years since they took over from the Umayyads, and they are still slowly losing their North African territory, but they might be able to turn it around. Hopefully they don't explode like they did in the last few playthroughs that we've done. I've hopefully fixed the problem with them exploding within a couple of years. But let's get right into this. We're over here in Italy. We are one of the few footholds that haven't been overwhelmed by the Lombards. Our first and primary goal is to definitely try and turn around the situation in Italy. So trying to re-secure southern Italy should be our goal. And to do this, we will have to fight a little bit with the Imperial court, as they do have maximum crown authority. Luckily, we are starting out with the... Where is the... Forget how to bring up the crown authority. Somewhere around here. Let's see. There we go. We are starting out with religious rights, title protection, and war declaration. As historically, the foothold here in Naples, before it was historically lost to the Lombards, was a marsh. Oh, this here is the commander trait. I am playing with a mod that gives us 2 new extended, basically lifestyles, which is prowess, basically just concentrating on our abilities, fighting and all of that, being a commander, a vanguard, a sentinel. Very, very decent when it comes to just getting up close and personal. It's really good if you want to do a bunch of tournaments. And then we have leadership, which is pretty good if you want to build control within your empires and kingdoms. Also gives you prestige, which is pretty good. Adds a whole bunch of new flavors type stuff, which we'll see as we'll go around. But Count Theodosius is a Roman commander here on the frontier. Italy, as far as the Imperial court is concerned, is lost. We will now begin. Also, we are definitely going to want to pick out our court, see if we got anybody worthwhile. Oh, we got a couple of interesting guys. We got a couple of decent spy masters, and we will grant our advisors using the basically the extended council mod. To really flush that out whenever we come across it. Now, even though the Kingdom of the Lombards and Benevento are divided into two different realms, they are allied as they are part of the same family, and I'm hoping that they don't absorb into one another, or it's going to make our job a lot more difficult. And I'm thinking we want to grab the rest of Capua first. How are they against our strength? We're relatively equal to one another, and that is due to our... Basically, since we are a marsh, we are a military commander. Let's see, I don't want people who are bad at fighting being a knight. And I don't want our player heir. Or our court physician. Or chancellors. But everybody else, they can be a knight. I'm going to put our heavy infantry, which would be the Strategoi, in Naples itself. Put that onto domestic affairs, train our commanders, and let's just increase our development. This is long-term growth. Get everybody to slowly like us. And that's gonna stay that way until I give advisors. Now let's see if we actually have anybody for a court physician. Actually, we got two. Oh, we actually have two very good. We'll go with the younger one. And we'll put the other guy as the equestrian because they tend to both do pretty decently. Looks like the Empire is sort of fighting off the invasions that are going on. Interestingly. Actually, never mind. I misread that flag completely. The Slavic invasions was not a good time at all. But we have opportunity. 5 months we will have our claim. And we're just gonna condemn him. Looks like the papacy has been granted back. Now, we are currently Orthodox, and we plan to be staying Orthodox. Actually, we are the last little holdouts of Orthodox amongst the rest of our, oh, what's the word that I'm looking for? For the rest of the Empire, which has gone to iconoclastic right now. Looks like the Lombards have actually surrendered. So one of the wars has been unsuccessful, which I don't see why. We got an unpressed claim. That's because the Imperial army actually came over, which is surprising. They might be able to fight off a few of the different, and I forgot to put on a life choice. For shame. What is this? If we can jump on them quick enough. We might be able to knock them down before the other half even gets here. I'm gonna need a little bit more prestige. We have enough money, so I think we will basically just have a feast. Just raise up our glory. Surprisingly, the Empire is somehow kind of fighting back. Surprised they just haven't been overwhelmed. Looks like the Bulgarians are winning their war, though. Looks like the Imperial army is actually swinging its way around. And now it looks like it's just on the defensive. I'm worried that some of these will come over here to Italy. And try to just befriend some people. One of our fellow Ck3s are here. Ck3, what the heck am I saying? One of the, Oh, I'm still a little, head clouded from being sick. One of the dukes. It's basically the Latin word for duke, it's where we get it from. So basically in this universe, the Thene system has become hereditary, though it is still heavily appointed by the Emperor, and they have to answer to the Emperor. So they're not as free as what you would get in basically Francia or anything like that, how these duchies being nobility. We are primarily military ranks. Good, that gave us enough that we can go ahead and declare for Capua. And we're gonna march down and try to catch Benevento's army before it can group up with its allies. If we're to survive against the Lombards, we have to keep them separated. And hopefully none of the others come down to interfere with us, any of the Slavs. They can try to siege down the city of Naples as much as they want. Now they're trying to get to sea. They won't be able to. Pretty close match. Our first character, Theodosius, is going to be quite the beast of a character when it comes to military actions. And let's get into Crusader Wars. Now, for anybody who isn't familiar with what we are doing and how we go through these playthroughs, all the actual battles are going to be done through the mods Crusader Wars. And we will see the evolution of the Imperial Roman army during the medieval era. Right now we are small and just a minor lord within the empire itself. But as we get larger, more powerful, we will see our power grow. Now, right now, the Roman army has just entered the first real reform since the Arab invasions. So we are still seeing some older equipment that would be more familiar to anybody who basically has messed around or have really watched any historically accurate productions about the late Roman Empire. We are not too far separated from the campaigns of Justinian. The Imperial round shields are still pretty well in use, quite heavily. And the color scheme undertaken by Emperor Anastasius, changing it to blue and white, is still fully in effect, which is the Age of Charlemagne sections of our mod that we're using right now for the skins. We have undergone the post-Arab invasions reforms. So our main professional forces are basically the these guys back here, the Strategoi and the Spear Strategoi. Basically, the Strategoi are the professional soldiers, and then we have the Levs, which are, they're just levies. Purely what they are. Now, for our cavalry, we have the Tagmata cavalry. The Tagmata showed up at the very end of the 400s and has basically been in use ever since. And has become one of the main cavalry forces. Swift melee cavalry. Even our heavy cavalry is technically part of the Tagmata. And then there is the Cataphracti, or the Cataphractore, which are the absolute heaviest cavalry in all of Europe right now. Anyone who breaks formation will be punished. When it comes to a professional military, the Roman military is still one of the few during this time frame which is upheld by a professional code, training, and regiments. The big issue is basically Rome itself.
The enemy has been sighted.
During the Byzantine Dark Ages, or basically the Age of Anarchy is actually what this is preferably called. We are seeing somewhere around 20 to 30 civil wars in a 20-year span. Even with the iconoclasm that's going on right now, it's still very unstable. The iconoclasm itself is... you can really debate on how it goes because we don't know the philosophical arguments between the Orthodox Church and the iconoclastic church and their views, because that part hasn't really survived up to the modern day. But it also became a sort of political thing. Like, did you support the emperor? Are you, iconoclastic, or are you with the, orthodoxy? And then it would kind of flip around with which emperor or empress, as Empress Irene would take over very shortly after the start date. On which sections of the empire holds open its views, and how do you want to support them? And this would lead to very shaky successions. Komnenos the Fifth, who is current emperor right now in Constantinople, he has been already deposed twice and has come back into power for a third time. And is now facing a full-scale rebellion from the Slavs. Not full-scale rebellion, full-scale invasions. The First Bulgarian Empire is basically... it's not done in the process, but in the game how we have it represent, because right now the person that I have who does like my code events and stuff is having a hard time getting the basically the event to tick off properly. So we have already represented the Bulgarians after they've Slavicized, but right now they should be still more representative of how you would see basically people of the steppe. Similar to the Bulgars on the Volga. But the process isn't like too far separated, like it wasn't too far at all. Ahead and advance in formation.
Spears ready. Those ranks, raise shields.
There we go. Looks like they've done a false charge now. Now they're doing a full charge. Luckily, our front line of spears will easily absorb any of these cavalry. Looks like they've gotten involved with our front line as well, with the back troops. How you doing, Queen?
their units!
Here come the Lombards now. Now, the Lombard Wars are a very bloody affair that started basically at the very tail end of Justinian's reign. And it was a very back and forth fight that just continued over and over and over for Italy. And they're basically 100% just a absolute full-on response to the campaigns of Justinian. The Gothic Wars, where Belisarius went in to reconquer Italy, had sort of the opposite effect and devastated the Italian countryside. It didn't recover until around the 1800s. That's just how bad it was. We're actually going to go ahead and order our swordsmen in over here. Take care of the archers back here.
The battle is turning in our favor!
Before where we are right now, the Lombard Wars was basically going very back and forth until around the year 757. This is around the time when Ravenna ended up falling under siege and then falling to the Lombards. And with the political situation back in Constantinople just getting worse and worse and worse, most of the Romans just sort of kind of washed their hands of Italy for the time being. The Imperial court in Constantinople was a hot mess, to be honest, during this time. Let's have our heavy cavalry chasing down. There we go. With Benevento's army crushed before they can actually get up with the actual Lombards to the north, this is a very, very crucial battle. So hopefully we do enough damage to them. So how is everybody enjoying it so far? It's good to be back and actually do a little bit of streaming, though it is really hot. But that part can't really be helped, and I hope my fans aren't being too noisy. Ah, thank you. Pop, 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 pop. The first time I get to show that one off. It's enjoyable. Now, as we're waging campaigns to resecure southern Italy for the Empire, we might actually be able to use this to push our agenda for the Imperial throne. Though right now, character-wise and from a roleplay point, we have absolutely no thoughts at all when it comes to the Imperial throne in Constantinople. But maybe soon. Alright, we're going to be outnumbered in this next fight, but hopefully the long siege to take out 9 years, we could actually let them just sort of... that's what we're going to do. We're going to lay down some sieges ourselves. 7 years. We're not going to chance it. We can be outnumbered. They're trying to besiege Constantinople. It's not going to be too successful on their part. I forgot to... I wasn't paying attention at all what I was doing. Lovely. That's what happens when you don't pay attention. Luckily, we weren't injured. Let's see. You have a daughter. What about you? What about you? Corsica survived. That's a very old lady. And we'll just have to hop over there and make sure we actually pay attention. It's just gonna make the battle harder on us. Wait and get into this fight. There we go. And the King of the Lombards is actually in this fight, leading his army. And I think we are actually on the defense. This won't be an easy fight by any means. I think we're going to use the terrain advantage and just have a slight uphill battle. Hopefully they march to us. We should be on the defensive.
Close ranks! Raise shields! For the gods!
And we want to put ourselves about here should do. Them ready to defend the center. And you'll be behind these guys over here. The weaker side.
Spears! Anyone who breaks formation will be punished.
Bring it down to about here should do.
Tagmata! We are outnumbered!
We'll have our Tagmata come in.
Riders advance!
Perform a little bit of a reconnaissance. Bunch of wolves.
Advance at speed! Riders of the double!
If we're to stand a proper chance, it's really going to just depend on how our battle lines respond.
Spears! Shield wall! Ready for orders! Forward! Melee cavalry ready!
Okay, we can see them, and are they not coming up to us?
The enemy has been spotted!
Now, hopefully the Lombards will actually be weakened by Charlemagne or Carloman, because both Charlemagne and Carloman have claims on basically all the surrounding kingdoms that are supposed to be part of the Frankish Empire. Basically, the replicate Charlemagne's campaigns. Well, that's nice. They are content on not marching down to us.
Stay in formation!
But going back to the Gothic Wars, there was a point where Rome itself was almost completely abandoned during Justinian's reconquest. The Third Gothic War is what we refer to as the Italian phase of the campaign. Belisarius and his Gothic counterpart basically went back and forth, and the city fell under siege multiple times.
Ignore those fools. They only want to kill you. Your very best now, men.
There was one part, even in the battle itself, where the Goths were going to completely level Rome. They even started dismantling some of the sections of it when they were basically ordered to stop. And before that even started, the population of the city had completely just left. Belisarius basically forced them back into the city to stay. Along with the Roman Senate, which is pretty interesting. The Roman Imperial Senate, which had been active since basically the earliest days of Rome, was still active at the time, still basically just running the day-to-day needs of the city itself. Several of the last things that the Senate in Rome itself managed to go and do. And by the 600s, it's the last confirmed time that they actually gathered and basically held any senatorial meetings. Of course, this wasn't anything to do with running of the empire. This was just running the day-to-day societies of Rome itself. Eventually, when the Roman Senate did stop meeting, it mostly went to the Papal States, taking over the entire running of the city itself. The Imperial Senate in Constantinople is a completely different story, as the Roman Senate in Constantinople, which was basically when Constantine made the city of Constantinople the capital, he also brought a section of the junior halves of the Roman Senate over to Constantinople. So for the vast majority up until the Hard Divide in the late 300s, the Constantinople's Senate was the junior Senate, and the senior Senate was the Senate over in Rome itself. But after the 300s, it became the primary Imperial Senate. I'm gonna have you guys just sort of gather yourselves here.
At your service. Spears!
Keep you just like that.
At your service. Hold formation!
Let's go ahead and have you all march.
At speed! Missile, ready and waiting. Quick march! Spears!
So the Roman Imperial Senate, going back to what we were saying before we started to move this around, would continue with the day-to-day operations even after the Western Roman Empire collapsed. And the process that was started clear back with Augustus would be completely stripped of the Roman Senate's power, any real true political power, under Justinian. Though the final process of stripping the real major political power was under Emperor Anastasius. Emperor Anastasius is the first Roman emperor to rule without a counterpart in the West. Looks like they've decided to come in to fight.
Spearmen at the ready. Spears! Shields ward! Swords! On the wall!
There we go. As long as we keep our battle line nice and somewhat assemblant, we should be okay. Concentrate on trying to get their king.
Our men have given up and are running for their lives.
We need to plug that center gap real quick.
Bowmen! Archers! Spears! Guards! Melee horsemen!
Bring our
Lead formation
cavalry over here.
in service to Rome. Bowmen! Archers! Advance at speed!
Getting quite into the thick of it here.
By your command, glory! Melee infantry ready.
Our Strategoi ought to hold up quite nice.
Archers! Take aim! Victory for Rome! At your service. Advance at speed!
Looks like they're trying to ram our troops like that. Here come the real bulk of their army now.
The enemy is going for our general! Protect him! The enemy refuses to admit defeat! Their unit has rallied!
Something about these smaller battles that are just absolutely devastating.
Advance! Fight in the front! Yes, Lord! By your command! As you command! Yes, Lord! By your command! Archers! As you command! Our men have regrouped! Forward! SEM! Quickly now!
Swing our cavalry around and Doesn't look like we're gonna get away from them.
At your service. Mars, aid us.
Let's give them fire.
Give them fire.
Just that little morale hit is pretty good for what we're trying to cause.
We await your command.
Mass routes are a good way to turn around a battle where you're kind of losing. We got a lot of their stuff low, morale-wise.
Back, man, back! The men have thrown down their weapons and are fleeing.
Looks like our Tagmata spears have broken.
Withdraw! By your command. Fire on the enemy! Orders understood. Take aim! Bowman!
Whistling arrows would be fairly decent at this as well.
Enemy forces have struck our general down.
Oh no. Hopefully our character didn't just die.
Enemy units have returned to the battle. Fire on the enemy! Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
Come on.
Archers! Ready to fire! Ready, men!
Charge!
Our men have given up and are running for their lives.
Close fight. Close fight. If I would have been paying attention, we probably would have won. Hopefully our character didn't just die. The King of the Lombards is definitely going to make securing southern Italy difficult. Right now, we can easily go and say that the rest of Italy, basically from central Italy up, is just a lost cause for right now. We are wounded. We still have our court position. It's just taking a minute to load. Why isn't it flipping over? There we go. So yeah, we are wounded. So that's a bit of a problem. But we have cut down their army a good bit. We could just... And they can't continue the siege anymore. So all we need to do is... just heal up a little bit. Kinda don't want to, but... they won't even take the alliance. What about you? Any allies that we can take at all. Not really. Looks like they're trying just to come down here. What to do? Could work. Yeah, that wasn't gonna happen. Now they're just gonna wait. And heal up. I think we're gonna... our first attempt at pushing out the Lombards, it's fallen. We don't have to worry about losing our title or land right now, as we are protected by the rest of the Empire. But we will have to reforge our title, and we did lose a lot of money. Unfortunate. a good mirror. We are just going to sell that off. Get us back a little bit of money. So I believe Benevento we can overcome, but Lombardia itself is going to be the issue. Did we capture anybody by chance? No. Do we have anybody worth marrying? Our spy master could be a decent person that we could marry. Do we have anybody who has traits? Ooh. That decides it right there. She has the quick trait. Getting the intelligent trait into our bloodline would be very nice. Looks like we're about to lose Dalmatia, along with the rest of the wars. And we're definitely going to take people's money. Look at our traits. We are a beast of a character. Gonna have her convert to Orthodox. She's got decent on learning. That'll raise us a good bit. The Imperial Court in Constantinople, it's pretty bare because it's during the Iconoclastic, so all the religious emblems have been taken down. Well, we could train for a tournament. Oh, we can get the strong trait. I will have to keep an eye out for any grand tournaments. We're just going to Yeah, we can't pay homage yet. Not until they're done with their wars. We failed pretty hard, and now they know that we're trying to capture Capua. Alright, there's a war gone and done with. The first major Slavic state was Bavaria. Bohemia. Great Bohemia. I'm surprised they're not, fighting one another, to be honest. The Anglo-Saxon kingdoms up there. And we're about to see the fall of, the Kingdom of Epirus. Where is the Roman army? There it is. Just trying to do something against the Bulgarians. I'm thinking we're gonna have to take some of our vassals' lands. We're basically ordered to take control and from a roleplay stance and secure southern Italy by any means necessary. Hate how we can't see their battle. Yeah, it looks like the Emperor has lost this fight to the Bulgarians. So the Bulgarian Empire is going to expand into Thenalosia. Officially splitting us. Now they are... Khazars are clear down here. Getting our money back. Ooh, give me the we spent. We are going to join this grand tournament. Flexible leader. Actually, it's going to cost us money to travel up there. So we're just going to let it be. If it's somewhere within this vicinity, then yeah. Imperial army's getting smacked down again. Oh, good, we're having our first child. Speed up time a bit more. Oh, we could go to their hunting trip. It would still cost money. Money that we do not have the luxury of spending right now. Hopefully we get another random event that gives us an item. I'll attempt to translate one of the battles. Focus on the translation. Surprised this war's still going on. And we got a daughter to start out with. And Maria, fine. And we'll educate her. And our priest is just absolutely garbage. Surprised the AI isn't just sitting there and sieging. It has to run up and battle. see, like right there, it would have won if it continued those sieges. Our movement speed would definitely be a lot better, but we need money. In our other games, the other starts that we did, we started out as part of the Asatru or part of the Tangri religions, so we didn't really have to worry about just waiting for money to come in because we could go and raid people. We don't have that luxury. Is the Emperor even in the field? They could still capture him. The AI is just being absolutely dumb right now. Like, actually finish off the sieges. Oh wow, this guy would be amazing for this. Control growth advisor. Monitor my diet since you're already my court physician. Monthly piety would be nice. Could become really crazy on learning. +4 on intrigue is nice. +5 with the marshal. That is very good. Have our advisor councils set up. And the Kingdom of the Lombards have declared war. They're trying to take Sardinia. If we had money for another claim, since we had to give up our old claim, right now would have been perfect. Oh, a council invitation. Spy Master? I mean, I guess we could be the Spy Master. We'll be bastards have gobbled up them. Charming. Charming is a fun trait for a child. The Eastern Roman Empire is going to be a challenge to actually play through and turn around and have it come back. And lovely. Now the Kingdom of the Lombards is great. Yeah, we're just gonna have to start eating up our other vassals around us and try to get up to their position. Let's take the very tip of the boot. Let's see. Let's go ahead and increase our realm authority. Oh, no thanks. Oh, I still have my claim. I thought we completely lost our claim. Or did we get it back whenever they became part of the Kingdom of the Lombards? Could we snipe Rome off of the Vatican? I think that would probably irritate the entire Catholic world at us. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Oh wow. Looks like the Emperor is pushing back the fight for Epirus. Quite interesting. Oh yeah, we could build a university here later on. I shall respect her privacy. Get her to like us more. Oh, she gave us a bunch of gold. Yeah, it looks like it took a while, but they are turning around this fight. Interesting. We'll see after the claim if we have enough. Oh, the nickname The Righteous. That is decent. Looks like the Magyar Confederation decided to settle down. Oh, good. We get a claim now. We can fight for. Huh. I forgot I made that a duchy. Oh, and he died. So we can grant our steward this. And again, we are Spy Master. Why do we want to be the Spy Master? Alright, let's launch and try to secure the very bottom of Italy. Especially before they can actually gather up with their allies. Interesting. More people come to join our court. The Abbasids are looking super scary. Super, super scary. He has compunction. Ugh. Well, it looks like in this game we are not going to see Charlemagne do his thing. Looks like they ran away from the siege. Cut non-essentials. Let's see, how long have we been? I think we'll leave it here at a bit of a cliffhanger. Our enemies are gathering up. The Empire is completely surrounded by enemies, under siege, under attack. The Kingdom of Lombardy is advancing. We're having an absolute hard time. We failed our first attempt to take territory off of the Lombards. Will we succeed at taking territory off of our fellow vassals so we can secure southern Italy? We'll find out the next time, and I thank you all for coming by, and thanks for everybody who's given us likes, subscribes, all of that. I appreciate every little bit of it. Thank you so much, and it's good to be back. And we'll be seeing you all later, you alligators. Bye-bye now. Going to raid. Smur. We're gonna go bother Smur. And thank you all again. See you later, alligators. Bye-bye.